what led you to third stage consulting and what you do at
Sure.
third stage?
For about the last 25 years, I've been working with enterprise applications and developing strategies and deployments of ERP systems, the whole realm of digital transformation initiatives. And in all of that time, we've seen a number of advances happen within the marketplace, a lot of changes happening with ERP systems, with the advent of AI, with the move to the cloud, even 15, 20 years ago. And in all of that time, there was really just kind of a missing component. And that was, how do organizations that are planning on embarking on this entire journey ensure that they're going to be successful throughout the journey, without having to really just take the gloves off and jump right in. And so that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about today, is how do you prepare the organization? What do you look for up front to make sure that you don't fall into what the analysts say is about a 70% chance of failure in an ERP implementation, right? And it's not just about ERP anymore. It's about all those surrounding edge solutions and everything that runs your business, that makes up your digital enterprise operations, that makes up, everything that you need to be for the next 5 to 20 years. So that's where I think that third stage, and the reason why I'm here, really just is pulling the blanket off of, what do we need to do up front? How do we need to approach it? How do we need to be successful in this all the way through as an organization? That's the thing that I love about our business and our firm.
Yeah, absolutely. Is our ability to be able to help guide those companies that are getting started on their projects and help them navigate it in a way that's smart. And when you look at where a lot of organizations are right now as we enter 2025, a lot of them have new fiscal year budgets. A lot of them have new initiatives they're getting started on. A lot of them are sort of regaining momentum after having a few weeks of holidays and other stuff sort of slowing down work activity. So a lot of times January is the time a lot of companies are ready to jump in and start doing stuff, and it can be daunting. So we want to talk about what stuff should you be doing and how should we get started, and how can we sort of not boil the ocean, but get started, incrementally in a way that's sort of aligned with what you're trying to accomplish as an organization.
In the U.S., we have a new president coming into office.
Yeah. That changes things for a lot of organizations, or it sort of changes the way they think about their strategy or their approach going forward. There's obviously all the geopolitical stuff that goes into effect for a lot of countries at the start of the year as well. So just to help us get started, though, like sort of just starting at a bigger picture or higher level, what do you think organizations should be doing to prioritize as they plan for their digital transformation and ERP implementations for 2025? So in other words, how do they, there's so many things you could be doing right now. We could all be implementing tons of new technologies, and we could be trying to boil the ocean and just going, doubling down on technology initiatives. But how do we realistically get started on that and make sure that we are getting started in a way that's aligned with our goals and objectives as a company?
Well, I think you said it when you said boil the ocean. A lot of organizations decide that, yes, this is the year we're going to embark on all of these digital strategies that we've been discussing over the last couple of years, possibly a couple of decades. And it begins with organizational alignment. The digital transformation is made up of people, process, and technology, right? And very often technology projects are embarked upon for the sake of the technology, and it very often doesn't take into account the people side of the equation, the process side of the equation. Process side of the equation is really what is going to affect and improve our business processes going forward. And so taking a look at where current systems and current processes kind of come together and are not working well, need to identify those gaps, figure out exactly how you're going to approach it as both an executive team and then all the way down through the organization to manage the processes that you want to improve and move into, a new way of operating. That requires a very introspective view of the organization. We call that loosely executive alignment, but it's alignment of the whole organization around a move forward strategy that doesn't include boiling the ocean. It includes, in some cases, spot replacement of technology, but very often you have to look at the overall business as a whole and your business planning for the next 3 to 5 years and pulling the planning together. And so we refer to this as kind of a phase zero approach. You're looking at both the people, process, and technologies in alignment with your business planning as in many cases, a 3 to 6 month view of how are we going to prepare the organization to move forward in a measurable and considerable way. You've seen that a lot with many of our clients. Very often when people don't go through that phase zero in that preparation, organizational prep, then it is a recipe for failure.
Yeah, largely because you don't get the alignment between whatever the overall strategy is of the organization and the digital transformation or ERP project. It's easy to just sort of focus on the technology, the shiny object, and just jump in and start deploying it. But if you don't take the time to do that phase zero, you end up usually getting a disconnect between what the strategy is of the company and the actual initiative. And so it's a way to sort of help bridge that gap and give you a foundation or a blueprint for deploying and pursuing technology in a way that aligns with your goals and objectives.